Just massive one on Fusion. It was the first time we did it as a club, and I thought it was a massive success. We took over 200 players, 16 teams, and we had 8 teams competing for divisional finals. We had 5 champions. We're not looking at that as the measurement of success. We were looking at how our white teams did. I coached the U14 girls green, so how they developed over the period of games. Some teams won more, some teams lost some games. But the big thing that we found was that it was a great community feel. I don't know what you guys thought, but getting all the teams out, one venue, one location, and having some of the older age groups go and watch the younger age groups, I thought it was great for pre-season development. We do know, however, there's a lot of things that we could do better. The biggest criticism that I've had of us and things that I had in my own brain was when we did go there, usually like you go to Waz or Spooktacular or whatever, they'll guarantee no conflicts. Whereas this tournament, we couldn't do that. We had a lot of coaches who were getting to finals, a lot of coaches were here, there and everywhere. So I tried to do the best in terms of, right, I'm going to cover this session, you're going to cover, and it's sometimes difficult. So if you ever noticed, some teams being covered by a coach you don't know, that was the reason why. There was a lot of conflicts and we tried to manage it. But going into the future, because we're taking quite a large volume of teams to this tournament, the director of coaching at the club, Midland, he's adamant he's going to make sure that there's no conflicts in future. Because we have obviously got coaches like John Bentley, Chris Ancona have got 3 teams, John's got 5 teams, so it can be difficult. Turning a negative into a positive, I actually love the fact that I got to coach with the teams. I love the fact that Chris got to coach some of the boys' teams and vice versa. Because as a club, and this was something in my mindset when I was at Rochdale Academy working with elite players, I always want to know what's coming up from below. So as a club, I'm always challenging the coaches, including myself. I probably know about 70% of the kids, but I don't know all of them. I think it's massively important that we know 100% of the kids. We know their names, we know their parents' names, we know their families, we know where they're going to school, everything about them. Because effectively we might be getting those kids at U10, at U11, U12. So that's why I think it's quite a good benefit. Because pass should not be the word we tell the kids. It should not. If I'm getting the ball and I'm passing to you, you're going to get better. You're getting touches on the ball, not me. We want them at U7, U8, U9. U10 is slightly different, but certainly at U9, we do not want pass to be the default. We want them to stay on the ball. We want them to tap people on. We want them to take risks, have loads of failure. That's what we want for a reason. We're purposely putting them in that shell because we want them to be confident at beating you 1v1, beating you 1v2. And the kids can do it. We've got loads of examples. At these ages, we're looking at loving the ball. We're looking at 1v1s, 3v3s, dribbling, social learning, love scoring, individualism. And it starts to change because at U11, U12, we're talking about structure and shape. I want you guys to stress home that we're now talking about tactics and strategies. We're not talking about anything else at the earlier ages. Passing and receiving variation, we're talking about Suarez touch, we're talking about touch move, we're talking about multi-touch turns, we're talking about no-touch turns. So there's some of the vocabulary. I would love it if you guys, before a game, were like, how many no-touch turns could you do in today's game? We want them to be creative solutions. We want them to play with individuality. We want them to play with disguise and surprise. They're the main messages of this age group. This is what good soccer looks like. Yeah. What we don't want is like, shoot up! As you probably heard on the side. But again, that's making the decision for the kid. We don't want that. I had it in my game. Rachel's driving down the side, someone's shouting from the side, cross it. But there's no one to cross it to. You know? We've got to let them make decisions on their own. That's what 4v4 looks like. Staying on the ball. He was 1 versus 4, 1 versus 3. Go express yourself. Go and find opportunities to play. This is what it looks like at U8s, U7s. This is Matthew Eshman using the skills curriculum. Now I know he's missed the goal, but we're looking for that individualism. At the minute, we're on block 1, phase 1, build-up possession. We split the phases in 4 phases. You'll see over there. Build-up phase, rotation, balance, penetration, finishing, in possession. So I want to show you why our kids are doing this and why they won't make mistakes, why it will end up in the back of the net. We're asking our players to split and at the earliest ages and be comfortable at breaking out underloaded. What does that mean? What does that look like? Underloaded, as it says, they've got a superiority. In football, you need 3 types of superiority: numerical superiority, certainly in your own half. So if you're looking for your kids, if you think they're not playing well or they are playing well, look for that. We're looking for, I'm not trying to throw out buzzwords so you think I'm intelligent, qualitative superiority, in the sense of like, I've got the quality to beat you in a pass or a dribble, I've got the skills, and we're looking for positional superiority. This gives us the best positional superiority to play. If we fail at this, it's not because they were in the wrong position, it's not because the goalkeepers made the wrong decision, it's just because the technique and the execution wasn't right. That's all it is. Now, they will fail, but I just want to show you a video of what it looks like. This is actually, I believe, the U10 whites. This is a start position. If the players go even higher, we would want your kids to go bump and go as deep as that. A parent said to me the other day, like, bloody hell, all the kids are behind the ball. Like the goalkeeper's second, I was like, yeah, if we want to build from deep, we would expect one of these to drop in, we would expect one of these to come in a deep space, we would expect one of these to come in a half space. So they're moving all the time. I'll just show you a video. So this is when we played the U10 white versus the girls. Sorry if the video's on. So, in this game here, Xavier, unfortunately I clipped it too short, Xavier played a ball into here, and they broke out. It was unbelievable. I'll just show you again. The reason why is at the early stages, we want them to split. You'll notice there's a player out here, but we want him to have the ability to beat that player 1v1 and come and listen to. One of the things that I really want to stress on is we don't talk about pass and move, we talk about pass position. If you could say that to your kids, that would really help us out. If you see the ball look like basketball, because that's their way of figuring out, they're not going to govern the ball and keep it. It's going to be loads of transitions, loads of turnovers. We're not bothered about that. If they're doing this at U13, then we're going to go, hey, look after the ball, keep the ball, keep the ball. Left foot, Isaac Snyder, boom. Just want to show it again. I'll talk about pass position. We talk about, can we have a position where we're overloading them? You'll notice on the regame, whenever a player has the ball, we want them to drop into a deep space. So if you look here, I'll tell you, it's when Rourke gets on the ball. So Rourke's getting on the ball here, now he's getting into a position, pass position. As soon as he's gone there, Rourke's dropping, he's receiving in a deep space. So what we're looking at is, as soon as Rourke's transferred that ball, he's saying, no, I'm not going to admire the pass, I'm going to get into a position in what we call deep space. Because if he loses the ball, he's now in a position where he can go and engage and go and deal with it. It's really clever. U10's unbelievable. We want them to have superiority, but we want them to get into deep spaces where they can receive the ball. Hope I'm not going too quick. So this is an example. So you'll see the full field. You've got your striker, you've got the player Liam going out here, Ferguson. You've got players coming in here. Number 10 is this boy here.
Xavier's in the box.
Holding space between lines. You've got players on the edge who are giving us that superiority. We're trying to introduce futsal for a couple of reasons. I know some of you will have questions. Futsal is a tool that will allow staying on the ball, dribbling, confidence. It'll allow the players to become risk takers, not risk averse. Allow the players to play with confidence. We're using it as a tool. We don't want all our teams going to Ultimate in the winter. We want our teams to play at Ultimate if we want them to develop 11v11, we want them to develop other things, big fields, massive goals, big competition. With some of our teams, we want them to get more confident on the ball. Certainly with our U7-U8s, U9, U10s, U11, U12s. I know Jack's going to try and get the U10 boys green in futsal and things like that for the second session. For those of you who don't know what futsal is, it's a variation of 11v11. I'll just show you a quick video.
which basically runs in the winter months, January and February. The goal and the mission of the football period is another avenue of player development. What happens specifically?
Gives you an example of what our individual learning plan is. If you can leave on the table when you finish, because I'm a bit tired out putting all those. Cheers.
A player's technique and skill is the foundation for success. In order to play at the highest level, you need to be able to have a comfort level with the ball, and futsal really translates to that development.
I'm a big fan of futsal. The game is played on the tempo, it's very demanding technically. There's definitely a challenge from the you have to make decisions really quickly on the court or on the field. I think futsal is a great alternative or a great addition to whatever you do outside.
We'll play over. Positive 1v1 means if I say to your son or your daughter, Chris Ancona does it a lot, be positive, go explore, be positive. Come on, he'll demand, he'll command. Positive means go take him on. Go be aggressive in your start position.